On March 30th, we get the release of Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, and this is going to be an insane game. This game is the most Skyrim-like game I have seen almost since Skyrim has been released. This game features very much Skyrim-like in every single way systems, such as combat systems, crafting systems, leveling progression, and a ton of other RPG open world aspects of the game that you completely want, that ultimately made Skyrim the biggest success that it is today. All those aspects brought into one game. I welcome you to Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon is a dark fantasy open world RPG full of quests, loot, choices, and monsters, set on a bleak island on the verge of ruin. The mysterious and complex story of Tainted Grail stretches for over 1,000 years, from the moment King Arthur led the people of the homelands to the shores of Avalon. Here you will journey through Avalon to learn the dark secrets behind the Age of Conquest, Four Dwellers, or the weirdness itself. As lore follows, King Arthur is long dead and all the myths and legends are falling. Humans living in Avalon are desperately trying to find new ways of life and things to believe in. The plague of Red Death and the spreading weirdness are not helping. Time is running out and multiple factions have their own plan for the future of the island. This dark fantasy open world RPG is full of very much Skyrim-like features, as well as Skyrim-like gameplay, loot systems, and everything that made Skyrim successful. Now this is pre-alpha footage, but obviously when you start the game you will be able to select from a variety of character customization that will be even more apparent once the game actually launches on March 30th. Like lore mentioned, you start in a cell in which you end up having to break out of in order to escape the current predicament that you're in. Once you escape, you're going to come across many enemies, quests, side quests, and skills that you're going to have to level in order to progress throughout the game and become a true warrior to correct some of the problems that lie in Avalon. Among the very awesome features in this game and unique character creation, as well as all the skills, things you can do, craft, trade, cook, NPCs you can interact with, massive leveling opportunities, and a ton of stat customization to make a truly awesome open world RPG experience. I'm going to go through some of the systems in this game that make this game what I think very special, which is why I think this game is going to be an extreme success. The first is gear system. So the gear system works very similar to the way Skyrim's gear system works. Essentially every single enemy that you defeat, you can loot their body and loot every single thing off of their body. I think this makes it extremely valuable because, sort of like in Skyrim, if somebody had a weapon or armor on them, you can loot them. It only makes sense if they have something on. You should be able to loot them almost entirely. This allows for a solid variety of actual weapons and equipment throughout the game, as well as usables and other ingredients and materials that you're going to find. Now this system also features loadouts, meaning you can select and set up a bunch of different loadouts for your actual weaponry and make it so you can select any loadout you want for any given situation, as well as inventory management systems that make a lot of sense and are very easy to engage with. This makes categorizing and understanding your gear and how to access it very simple, and regular RPG equipment slots for jewelry and armor, as well as quick slots, and this game does take advantage of the weight system and over-encumbered system similar to Skyrim does. There's also a quick slots menu, meaning you can select from any actual loadout that you need in any given scenario, whether it's melee range or use a quick slot item such as a healing potion. Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon has a ton of different skill sets and spells. Many of these define the fighting styles that are within the game, similar again to Skyrim. You can see here we have a one-handed attribute, as well as a two-handed attribute, an unarmed skill generally meaning punching and fist fighting within the game, as well as blocking, as well as light, medium, and heavy armor stats, and archery as well. These are all common themes and stat lines in Skyrim, which allow you to level up your character in multiple different ways, making sure you can actually master a lot of different areas. There are a ton of different additional skills in here as well. Some of these are going to be things like evasion, agility, sneak, theft, rituals, elemental magic, so you will be able to cast spells in this game, as well as summoning, meaning you're going to be able to summon people to help fight for you. I think that's very cool, the fact that we can raise the dead or other summoned creatures to help fight along with us. Now, just like in Skyrim, there are many skills and spells that Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon has, and all of these are going to be leveled by using them, meaning if you want to level your one-handed sword ability, use a one-handed sword and do some damage, same with magic and other abilities, so on and so forth. The actual skills that exist in Skyrim that aren't specializations range from a bunch of different areas such as strength, dexterity, craftsmanship, stealth, defense, and arsenal. So these are going to be unlocked as you level these stats, meaning once you get enough points in these stats, you're going to be able to unlock skills that are equivalent to what your actual level is in the stat. And you can see here, each time you get a level or upgrade, you can essentially put a point in strength or any one of those skills in order to advance it and unlock actual skills for them. The combat system is again very similar to Skyrim. It's going to allow you to use hack and slash primarily as a starter attack method. And as we saw earlier, there are specializations for archery as well as magic and summoning and other things such as spells where you can temporarily slow down time in order to attack enemies. There's obviously block, dodge, and an entire parry system in this game as well, adding even more depth to the fighting and combat within this game. Throughout using all the different types of weaponry this game offers, whether it's actual melee abilities, magical abilities, archery, summoning, and a bunch of other things, this gives you a lot of different ways to play the game and a lot of actual depth to play the game the way you want to play and level abilities all on their own and have fun mastering everything if you want. Shown here is a magic lootable item, so you can actually find spell recipes here, where if you find them, they act sort of like an inventory item. You can select them and even equip them as almost a dual wielding capability with other weapons. That way you can use melee if you have to, or spells if you need to. This game has many entire systems dedicated to crafting in Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. Here you're able to trade, craft, and cook. The game will come with many supporting systems that will allow you to use all of the gathered ingredients and transform them into useful items, life-saving potions, or food. And there are many different types of items and things that you can find, and many different types of alchemy stations, cooking stations, etc., where you can actually combine some of these ingredients, learn to create all different types of potions that you can use to help you in battle and go throughout the game. And so you're going to need to learn these recipes and formulas. Otherwise, you're just going to throw stuff in a pot and create a potion that's not going to do you any good. As you can see, you can create potions that are obsolete, meaning you need to learn some of the recipes and ways to actually create these items and potions in the game. Now, some of the main skills revolving around crafting are alchemy. Alchemy is going to give you the potion making abilities. Cooking, which you'll also need to learn recipes from to combine ingredients to create food. Handcrafting, I imagine this is going to allow us to create some sort of armor or actual equipment for us to wear. And a lot of these crafting systems are going to be need to used in unison and be able to be mastered and fully leveled up. So another big part of the Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon lore is the actual map. So this is a quick scene version of the map from IGN. And if you look when we actually zoom in here, this map is fairly huge. So we don't know if this entire map is going to be available upon release or not. But this map is gigantic, meaning there's a ton of usage on the map for different areas, different places you can go, and expansion of the game as we go into a later developed game from currently the early access that's going to be offered to everyone. You can see certain areas here have actual quests and things you can do daily to help support your leveling and bonuses that you can get. And this game, once it's fully developed, is going to be very huge and give us a ton of content to explore. That being said, if you guys are really excited about the Fall of Avalon, it is coming out on March 30th for early access for PC, and I believe it's only going to be $20 because it's an indie game that is perfect, and these kind of games should be $20, and you're going to get all this content for that, so I highly recommend you going down and picking this up. That being said, thanks.